Hello and welcome to the channel, it's Irad, and yesterday we had an episode of Star Citizen Live all about the UI, which is going to go through dramatic changes in Star Citizen 3.23. So we are going to see what the devs, which include David Gill, also known as Bone, Emily Hansen, Zenbien and Gabriel Hector, had to say about those changes after this. And if you are new to the channel, well, welcome. I'm Irad, also known as the Eradicator, and I mostly talk about Star Citizen, among other things. So if you enjoy this content, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button. It really helps with the channel. You want to go the extra mile, we've got our Patreons as well as the YouTube membership, and this also can help me send myself to CitizenCon, where I will be reporting all of the events for you on the channel. There is also a referral event happening all the way through May the 2nd. This is my code if you want to get a Star Citizen account. This is going to get you 5,000 Alpha UEC, which is the in-game money, perfect to get started with new armor or weapon. Now let's get started here with the first question, and it's about the zoom levels of the star map, which is always zoomed out. It's a little bit annoying, right? So there was a question on whether we'll be able to set different zoom levels as default, and the dev said that they are working on that. The map will start differently depending on the context of what the character is doing. So probably if we are in a secluded area, the plan is to have the map zoomed in so we can really see what's going on around us. But if we are in open space, it's probably going to be zoomed out so we can have a better outlook of the entire region or even star system. Next, are they going to add filters so we can find specific things? And this is something that the devs want to do right now, but as always is not the priority, but eventually it will come. For example, we could see amenities or perhaps only the shipyards if this is what we are looking for. Will the markers be persistent after we log out? Oh my gosh, this is something that is also true with missions. I would like missions to be persistent after we log out, but here we just talk about the markers that we are setting ourselves in the verse. I suppose that that's what we are talking about here, and the goal is that yes, but it would not be in 3.23. There are some technical challenges here the developers are trying to overcome, and this also apparently will be done with server meshing, so we should be able to save them. We will be able to place them in interiors and in space as well. Will we also be able to share the locations with other players? And this is also part of the design. Once again, it will not be part of Alpha 3.23, but we should be able to share our markers with other players and even sell them if this is what we want, which is going to be wonderful for exploration gameplay. The next question is about a topic that we've seen over and over and over the past many years at this point. It's about landing in first person, and is there any progress on the MFD so we can land more effectively in the first person? And here, yes, this is something that they are working on. There's going to be a radar, and they also want to show the terrain around us. There's also a question about whether there is work on the UI in 3.23 and some holographic effects. And here they have a line to thread here. They want it to look cool, but it must also be readable. They are acknowledging that the holographic effects have been a little bit over the top recently. They appreciate our feedback and are still dialing it so that it gets the tone right. There are some graphical fixes on the way as well, such as color corrections, sorting out the names in the list, the points of interest, and etc. There was also more questions regarding accessibility here. This will also come further down the line, but they want options for people with, for example, color blindness and also font size. As they continue to develop the EI here, they are going to transform the legacy UI into the new UI, which will become easier to read. So they've got plenty of feedback here, and they're also thanking us for raising these points. What about the Mobiglass here? What other Mobiglass can we look forward to? And there are some apps that they have not updated yet, but they are working on updating all the apps in the Mobiglass. Knickknacks, for example, we have a complete overall, which is good because it's not easy to find our objects right now. Organizations is also going to be one of these updates as well, but now is not the time. The next question is about the new Circular Quick Interact menu, which is also known as PI or PIS. And why does it look so different compared to the other UIs in the game? And that's because it's not the UI of the world and physical things around you. It's something that's in our mind. According to the developers, we're just looking at our mind there. So it's representing our thoughts and therefore is not technically part of the game, even though it is in the game, right? So they're still working on it. They want that UI to be somewhat different because it's not what the game is throwing at us. It's what we see through our eyes in the game. The current animation to open the Mobiglass is rather slow. Would it be possible to speed the process? And apparently that's a really old animation. It's true. I remember we've had this animation back in Star Citizen 2.0. So they've updated the UI, but they also agree that they need to update the animation at some point. So it should be pretty quick, organic, and diegetic. And I guess that's sometimes a little bit action breaking. You're in the middle of action, but for some reason you need your Mobiglass and you have to raise your arm and put it in front of you, and then it just pops out, and many things can happen in the meantime. They need to get that faster. Will there be a mean of locating our ships farther than 20 kilometers? And right now, the ship will stream out when it's too far away, and then it gets harder to have the location. It's something that they will work on. It's something that will become increasingly important. I don't know, it's already very important. Sometimes, especially if you're using something like a Karak as a mothership and you are flying this solo, you are using a snub fighter to go somewhere, you're using it as a shuttle, for example, and then you want to go back to your ship and you don't know where it is. It's super annoying, so that's why they need to get the ship located farther than 20 kilometers right now. Actually, in my opinion, it's something that should have been done already before. Widescreen support, will it improve? So there is a slider allowing us to select the resolution that we want depending on our monitor. And finally, last but not least, will there be customization on the UI? And the first drop of visors and less layout will start to help with the customization. At the moment, they are focusing on making the UI at its best, and then they can start looking at customization. So there we have it, guys. This is what the UI team had to say. That's when they answered our hot, pressing questions. And let's remember that Star Citizen 3.23 is just the first iteration of the new UI. Obviously, it's going to improve. There are going to be more iterations and improvements over time. And it's great that we had those questions here. We're giving the devs some feedback as of what we are expecting further down the line. With that comes the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. A big shout out to my Patreon and YouTube members, as always, including Dr. Fabien, Zio, Kosher, Deplorable, Fidel, and Ducky to the Cur. Check out my new music channel where we have some new gaming and Star Citizen related songs like this one, and I will see you guys in the next one.
For fun.